4.5 billion years of evolution. It's all going to end. Titanic forces are already at work that will destroy the world as we know it. Scientific investigators take us on an epic journey into the future of the Earth, where apocalypses will wipe out all life and destroy our planet. This is the countdown to the end of the world. Seven and a half billion years from now, Earth will be consumed by fire and vaporized. But by then, it will be unrecognizable, a lifeless alien world. Long before its final moment, our planet could be struck by no less than 7 great catastrophes. One by one, they will turn the jungles into deserts, reshape the continents, and boil away the oceans. Other disasters will destroy the atmosphere, annihilate the animals, and destroy every plant. These are just the catastrophes we can predict. And what of mankind? We could be the first to go. This is the story of the death of the Earth. The first threat to life on Earth comes from the heavens. Right now, a lump of rock and metal, traveling at 17 miles per second, could be headed our way. It could strike next week, next month, or next year. But whenever it does, there will be little we can do. We would have very little warning before that threat turns into an asteroid impact. Earth has always been in the firing line.
It could happen tomorrow, it could be 100 million years from now, but it's not a matter of if, it's when.
300 million miles out from the sun, beyond Mars, is the asteroid belt, the rubble of a planet that never formed. 750,000 massive lumps of rock, more than a half a mile across. It's an inexhaustible source of planetary ammunition that gets knocked out of the belt and sent spinning across space. NASA astronomer Professor Don Brownlee knows a lot about asteroids. The record of the devastation they bring is hard to miss.
Just look at the moon in the night. You see it's covered with craters, huge craters. Impacts that happen to all the planets that have happened for billions of years throughout our history. So this will happen.
It already has. 65 million years ago, an asteroid 6 miles wide slams into the Earth. The impact throws up millions of tons of rock thousands of feet into the air, fusing sand into glass in a split second. This one impact wipes out the dinosaurs, a species that had endured for 160 million years. So what are the odds of this kind of asteroid strike happening today? Using the visible impact record on the Moon and planets like Mars and Mercury, Brownlee has come up with an answer.
The frequency of impact of a 10-kilometer object from space, a comet or an asteroid, of the kind that wiped out the dinosaurs 65 million years ago, is on the average about 1 every 100 million years.
When it strikes, it instantly vaporizes every living thing for miles around. The sheer force of the impact buckles and cracks the Earth's crust, creating powerful earthquakes. The force of the winds whips up waves, pushing powerful tsunamis onto the land. Within a few days, the dust cloud blocks the sun, plunging the planet into freezing darkness. An endless winter that would last for more than a year. Hidden within the dust is something far worse. A sudden overdose of nitric oxide destroys 85% of the ozone layer. As the dust finally settles, the lack of ozone allows damaging ultraviolet rays to reach the surface, harming billions of people and killing plants and animals with lethal doses of radiation. By the end of that first year, at least 70% of all life would have been destroyed. Those that live underground or hibernate stand a better chance. This is what killed the dinosaurs. And one day, the same thing could happen to us. Whether the asteroid impact happens next week or in a million years, mankind will have one great advantage over the dinosaurs. One that could ultimately save us from the same fate. Our technological ingenuity could build shelters to protect us, even stop the asteroid from hitting the planet in the first place by deflecting its course or blowing it up.
We do have the ability now to detect these things coming in, predict when they're going to hit the Earth, and potentially divert them.
Even if we have the ability to protect ourselves and our environment from an asteroid the same size as the one that wiped out the dinosaurs, we now know that there are far larger asteroids farther out in the solar system. Even future technology may not be enough to protect us from the damage an impact twice the size of this would create. Not knowing when the next asteroid will strike makes planning difficult and worrying pointless. There is worse to come. Even if we could plan for the next catastrophe, it won't make any difference. Ice sheets several miles deep, pushing down from the poles, will be unstoppable. A global ice age is coming. How do we know? It has happened before, and one of the first clues was pulled from the La Brea tar pits. To find an ice-loving woolly mammoth was a big surprise. To find it in the heat of California was a mystery. Could California have once been covered in ice? Could it happen again? To find out, scientists need a record of changes in the climate, stretching back tens of thousands of years. It turns up in the layers of sediment at the bottom of the ocean. Marine geologist Professor Peter Domenical is searching for clues to Earth's frozen past.
Deep sea sediments are really unique archives of past climate change because the sediments in the ocean accumulate very continuously and very slowly over time. So they present us with this kind of history book of